WZNR, Wizard News Radio, the news program for wizards for people who just like playing games where they get to pretend that they are wizards. Last time, our big news was about the massive sweeping ban announcements that hit standard format. Right now, we're in kind of a holding pattern with no clear top deck, which I think is a good thing. We've got a couple that are vying for that spot. On one hand, you have Dimir mid-range with the new Teoh Planeswalker from Duskmourn, along with Enduring Curiosity, and Floodpit's Drowner that's able to efficiently remove your opponent's stuff while making awesome threats of your own to just control the board and go the distance. On the other hand, you still have Is It Prowess, which, despite losing Corey Stillcutter, is still a really formidable deck. VV on his own is just able to still combo off and go the distance. Some people, especially whiny folks on Magic Twitter, may be worried that the format's already been resolved, and I don't really think that's the case, because we still have a number of fringe decks taking the scene too. You've got a couple of pixie lists that are still surviving without Hopeless Nightmare or This Town Ain't Big Enough, and then we're even seeing Final Fantasy take an impact. I quite like the look of this new Naya Yuna deck that looks like it might take the place of Domain Overlords after rotation. It's got a lot of life gain, some powerful sweepers, and it looks like it actually preys on Is It Prowess pretty well. Plus, we have rotation literally Friday. So go play pre-release, and then we'll see where we're at afterwards. Speaking of shakeups, let's talk about the fistfight at the Funko Corral. Just a year ago, Cynthia Williams left her role at Wizards of the Coast as the company's president. A role that I applied for when she left the vacancy. Morrow, I really wish you would have called me. I know I made that Mean Girls meme about you in the last episode, but really, man, I sent you my resume. Talk to somebody. Give me an interview. You'll get an unset every other year, buddy. I see your vision. We could make something beautiful. But anyway, Ms. Williams jumped ship from WOTC for Funko last year, and reports show that she was just voted out by the Funko board on July 5th. The board says the decision comes amid efforts to stabilize operations. Revenue at Funko has fallen from a peak of $1.3 billion in 2022 to $1.05 billion in 2024. The company had a net loss of $15.1 million last year. In the first quarter of 2025, the company reported a net loss of $28.1 million, and they're holding $202.2 million in debt. WZNR got an inside scoop. Apparently, Williams suggested some bold new ideas, like maybe we could try and make the dolls have slightly smaller and less creepy heads. Or perhaps we should make them heavier so they can actually be used as doorstops. The board didn't seem to like those ideas and opted instead for the go-to strategy of firing 1/5 of their workforce. This also comes off the tail of Jeremy Crawford and Chris Perkins both retiring back-to-back from their roles at Wizards of the Coast as the heads of Dungeons & Dragons, only to both nearly instantly come out of retirement and take essentially identical roles with Darrington Press, creators of the Critical Role RPG Daggerheart. Jeremy, Chris, congratulations on your new roles. I wish you both the best of luck with Darrington. Ms. Williams, sorry that you're going to have to choose whether to get the yacht or the private jet this year instead of just getting the matching set. I know it's rough out there for CEOs. As of me writing this on Tuesday, the 15th, there's still some Secret Lair in stock from the Sonic Secret Lair that just launched. So it appears that limiting checkout to 2 of each item per person really was the right move. Or perhaps Magic players just don't really like Sonic all that much. I'm assuming it might be the latter. Who really wants a Shadow the Hedgehog card that doesn't come with a matching gun equipment? Big tournament news. A couple weekends ago in Italy, we had Paupergeddon. The Italians love Pauper, and it showed. With over 1,000 players showing up to see who came out on top, Jund Wildfires was the deck to beat, making up the largest chunk of the meta share at 15% of registered decks. Aggro was also out in full force if you count both Rakdos and Mono Red Burn, along with the Mono Red synthesizer list together. They made up almost a quarter of the decks there. This is what makes Pauper such a cool format. You might be thinking, what the heck, Mitch, you just said like 40% of the tournament was aggro and Jund midrange. And to that I'd respond with, shut up, nerd. There were like 50 unique archetypes represented there. And sure, a lot of those are derivatives of one another. You've got a couple flavors of the same deck, like Mono Red or Boros or Mardu Synth. You've also got Blue Fairies and Izzet Fairies and Dimir Fairies. But that's important. It's easy to get thinking like, oh man, I'm going into a tournament. I want to play my pet deck, the deck I know and I have reps with. but I also want to do well. So should I suck it up and play the best deck, or should I play the deck that plays well into the best deck? Then you end up like one of those 100 plus dorks out there who registered Jund Wildfires. And guess where that gets you? That got you into the god-dang losers bracket. That's where.
If you ain't first, you're last.
Not really. Wildfires is a pretty sick deck, and 6 copies of it made it in the top 32. None of those advanced to top 8, though. Speaking of top 8, it ended up being 2 Gruul ramp decks, 2 mono blue terror decks, and 2 synth decks, 1 red, 1 Mardu. So a little less diverse, but still pretty interesting. Let me tell you, though, I think Mardu synth looks awesome. I played a bit of Esper Pixie in Standard earlier this year before it got, banished to the Shadow Realm, and this is giving me similar vibes. You pick up and you replay your same low-cost cards over and over again for, like, quasi-card advantage, and it's just rad. You can build it in paper for, like, $50, and 10 of those buckaroonies are for format staples like Red Elemental Blast or Relic Progenitus, so you invest the extra, $10 of those, and you can play them in so many other decks. Are you playing Pauper yet? If not, you really should. It's so dope. Like, imagine you're playing Standard and you're playing a busted-ass deck like Is It Prowess, and your Quarry Steelcutters get banned out from under you. That's $60. 4 cards, $60, just gone with the wind. That's a whole Pauper deck, mind you. A whole deck. And they just, 4 cards, erase that $60 right out of your wallet. Tack on another $10 to $15 for those Monstrous Rages, and oh boy, that's a hurt. But let's look at the other side. Pauper, imagine you're playing a deck that plays Deadly Disputes, which is a lot of decks. Black decks like Affinity or Jund Wildfire. You play your Deadly Disputes, and those just got banned. That card was a big deal. It was in most decks that could play it. That must have been costly too, right? Something that everyone's playing, $3 each. So like $12, that's, that hurts, but it's not too bad. No. $3 all in, baby. Premier card in the format. So ubiquitously played, it got whacked. 75 cents a piece. You could have been buying foil, old border, promo versions, and still only been like $2 a piece. I'm getting off track. I'm not here to talk about how dope Pauper is, which it really, really is. Seriously, you should try it if you haven't. But no, I'm talking about how dope Pietro Carucci is. One of the 5 players to register blue-white Cawgates, a deck no one expected to perform well. A deck a lot of people were saying it was dead. Let me tell you, I'm newer to Pauper, and my first deck that I built when I got into the format was blue-white Cawgates. I really like it. It's a fun, challenging deck. You get to brainstorm, you get to counterspell, get to play birds, lots and lots of birds. You get to shuffle your deck a lot. But it's not a great deck in the meta right now, when one of the most popular creatures in the format is Writhing Chrysalis, the little eggplant that could. Cawgates just struggles to stand up to it. It's a tough matchup, and it explains why we didn't see that many people playing in the tournament. But that didn't stop Pietro, and neither did his opponents. He went 14-1-2 to come out on top. So congratulations to him, and frankly, anyone else who turned out to make it such a large event. I really hope that we can start growing grassroots Pauper events like that here in the States. So, one last little bit of final news before we take off for the night. I'm going to try my hand at product reviews on this channel going forward. I've spent a lot of time on Magic Twitter, and naturally the algorithm tempts you with the sins of Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon Twitter. And over on Pokemon Twitter, we've seen some sleeve beef, which is pretty awesome. There's a conservative-owned brand called Top Cut, and a more liberally owned brand called Dual Spec, with Endgame and FCBC caught in the mix. These indie card sleeve brands, I've been playing Magic for half a decade now, and I got started like a lot of people. I was just recommended to buy Dragon Shield. Dragon Shield's the best. Dragon Shield's great. And, like a lot of people, I've become disillusioned with Dragon Shield lately. Quality's not as good. You find out that there's better sleeves. So I've tried Katanas, I've tried Cortexes. We have a lot of options now, and I wanted to move away from the bigger sleeve brands and try out some of the more indie brands on the market. And granted, you probably shouldn't let drama be what encourages you to spend your money, but they're right in my face. These 4 indie brands that all make sleeves, they're not big name companies. Let me tell you, I'm gonna rip the Band-Aid off right now and let you know I already like them. I've played with these two brands specifically, the Endgame, the Top Cut. They're great sleeves. I still need to test these two. Also, I need to get newer Endgames because apparently these are like the old formula and maybe they're not so good. I haven't even tried these yet. So it's something that's going to be coming. It's going to be in the works. I want to make sure I test them thoroughly before I make a review on them. But I'm looking forward to producing content like that. I did also want to, rip off that Band-Aid a little bit ahead of time. The fact that this drama is kind of political in nature, I get it out of the way now rather than having to listen to people go, oh, why do you make it political all of a sudden? So we'll just get it out there. But yeah, if you're looking forward to seeing that, make sure you subscribe. Leave me a comment if there's other brands that you're looking at, or have you tried any of these? Do you like them? What do you like? What do you dislike? But yeah, with that out of the way, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Hope you found it informative and interesting. I look forward to continuing to make this, and I hope you guys like it too. Please leave me some comments with what you thought, what you'd like to see more of in the future. But until next time, peace out, Girl Scouts.